Ladies, let's start with a question. How often have you felt like you're bending over backward, sacrificing pieces of yourself, just to make him happy? Maybe you're chasing validation, craving attention, or pouring energy into a relationship that leaves you feeling empty. It's exhausting, isn't it? Here's the hard truth. You are not meant to beg for love, respect, or attention. You are not a supporting character in his story. You are the lead actress in your own. We live in a world where romanticized ideas of relationships often push women into compromising their values, happiness, and even sanity for the sake of pleasing a man. How many times have you heard advice like make him your world or change yourself to fit what he wants? These myths are traps designed to drain your power and dim your light. But today, we're breaking free from all of that. This isn't about turning your back on love. It's about reclaiming your worth. This is about Dark Stoic Psychology, understanding the art of control, and recognizing that a relationship should enhance your life, not diminish it. Are you ready to uncover the secrets that will change how you approach men forever? What if I told you there are 7 things you must never do for him, 7 boundaries you must set to take back your power? By following these, you won't just keep your dignity intact, you'll become the kind of woman who commands respect and admiration. This isn't a game of manipulation, it's a journey to authentic self-worth. So, let's dive into the first powerful shift you need to make. Get comfortable, this will be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. 1. Protect your mental health and happiness. Imagine this. You're lighting a fire to keep him warm, and each log you burn is a piece of your peace, joy, and mental stability. He sits comfortably by the fire, unaware or worse, indifferent, that you're slowly turning to ashes. Does this sound familiar? Ladies, it's time to stop setting yourself on fire for someone else's comfort. When you prioritize his happiness at the expense of your mental health, you're handing over the keys to your kingdom. Your mind is your sanctuary, your fortress. No man, no matter how charming, successful, or attractive, has the right to rob you of that. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness depends on our inner state, not on external factors. But how often do we let our emotional well-being ride on his mood, his words, or his actions? Here's the real question. Why are you so willing to compromise your joy for his? What makes you believe his comfort is worth more than your sanity? This is where Dark Stoic Psychology comes into play. It's about understanding the balance of power in relationships and refusing to relinquish control over your peace. Let's talk scenarios. Maybe he's having a bad day and you bend over backward to cheer him up, even if it means putting your own stress aside. Or perhaps you avoid discussing your feelings because you're afraid of causing tension. Over time, you become a shadow of yourself, always tiptoeing around his needs while neglecting your own. This pattern is not love, it's self-betrayal. Remember Aristotle's words, "Happiness depends upon ourselves." You cannot pour from an empty cup, and yet, so many women are conditioned to believe that self-sacrifice is the ultimate proof of love. But what if the real proof of love is setting boundaries, respecting yourself, and showing him that your mental health is non-negotiable? The next time you find yourself putting his happiness above your own, stop and ask, is this worth my peace? Am I trading my joy for temporary validation? Your peace is not a bargaining chip. It's the foundation of everything you are. Protect it fiercely. Practical steps. Start by saying no to things that drain you emotionally, even if it's hard at first. Create non-negotiable self-care rituals that prioritize your mental health. Whether it's journaling, meditation, or therapy, invest in yourself. Communicate your boundaries. Let him know that your happiness is your priority and you won't sacrifice it for anyone. When you become the guardian of your mental sanctuary, something magical happens. You no longer look to him or anyone else for fulfillment. This independence isn't just attractive, it's transformative. Men are drawn to women who exude self-respect and self-sufficiency. Why? Because it's rare and it's powerful. Now, tell me, are you ready to take back your peace and stand unapologetically in your power? Leave a comment below declaring, "My happiness is my priority. I will never sacrifice it for anyone." Let's start a revolution, one woman at a time. 2. Don't commit to things you don't want to do. Let's talk about the art of saying no. It seems simple, right? Yet, how many times have you found yourself agreeing to something just to avoid conflict or to make him happy, knowing deep down that it's not something you actually want to do? Whether it's going to an event you're not interested in, doing something outside your comfort zone, or pretending to enjoy a situation that drains you, we've all been there. Here's the cold truth. Every time you say yes to something you don't truly want to do, you betray yourself. You wear a mask, trying to please him, trying to fit into an idea that isn't yours. It's like painting over your true colors to blend into a version of yourself that's more palatable to someone else. But what happens when you remove the mask? When you stop pretending, you reclaim your authenticity, and that is magnetic. Stoicism teaches us that we are only in control of our own actions, not the reactions of others. The moment you start making decisions based on fear of judgment or conflict, you're outsourcing your power to someone else. You're giving up the right to live according to your values, and in return, you lose the essence of who you truly are. Here's a hard question. Why are you living for someone else's approval? Why are you so willing to abandon your preferences, your desires, your needs, just to keep the peace or keep him happy? I get it, many women fear the idea of being seen as selfish or difficult. But there's a fine line between being considerate and being a doormat. And here's the key, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Imagine this scenario, you've had a long day, you're tired, and all you want to do is relax at home. But he asks you to go somewhere, to do something that you know will drain you. Maybe it's an event that you have no interest in, but you agree anyway. In doing so, you sacrifice your well-being for his satisfaction. And the more you do this, the more it erodes your own sense of self. This is not love. This is not a relationship where you are thriving, you are simply surviving. Now, let's shift gears. What happens when you start saying no to things that don't align with you? What if you began to say yes only to the things that truly resonate with your soul? Imagine how powerful that would feel. Not only would you stop giving away pieces of yourself, but you would start teaching him that your time and energy are valuable. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that self-respect isn't about arrogance, it's about a deep, unshakable knowledge of your worth. When you start valuing yourself, you'll notice something. People start respecting your boundaries. Men, especially, are drawn to women who know their worth and stand firm in their decisions. Your authenticity will be the thing that makes you irreplaceable. So, how do we apply this? Practice the art of saying no. The next time he asks you to do something that doesn't sit well with you, try saying, "I'd rather not, but thank you for understanding." Know what you want. Before agreeing to anything, take a moment to check in with yourself. Does this align with your values? Does it excite you or drain you? Be unapologetically you. Don't apologize for wanting to protect your energy or your time. It's not selfish, it's necessary. When you start saying no to things that don't serve you, you're not just protecting your peace, you're sending a clear message to him and to yourself that your life is yours to live, not his to dictate. This might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to people pleasing, but trust me, it's worth it. The more you honor yourself, the more others will honor you. Are you ready to stop pretending and start living authentically? Let me know in the comments below. What's one thing you've been saying yes to that you wish you could say no to? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to like and share this video with any friends who might need this empowering message. Let's support each other on this journey to self-love and authenticity. 3. Stop spending all your time on them. Picture this. You wake up, and the first thing you think about is him. You go through your day, constantly checking your phone, wondering what he's doing and waiting for his texts. By the time you go to bed, you're mentally replaying every interaction, analyzing every word, every look, every gesture. Does this sound familiar? Spending all your time and energy on one person might feel like devotion, but in reality, it's a trap. It's like pouring all your hours into a black hole. You lose pieces of your life you can never get back. When your world revolves around him, what happens to your own orbit? Let's be honest. Time is the most valuable resource you have. It's not unlimited, and once it's gone forever. Yet so many women spend their time obsessing over a man, hoping that their constant attention will win his affection. But here's the truth. Chasing someone never leads to respect, it only leads to exhaustion. Why do we do this? Sometimes it's because society has conditioned us to believe that love means sacrifice. Other times it's because we feel that if we're not constantly present, he'll lose interest or find someone else. But here's the paradox. The more you center your life around him, the less he values your time. Why? Because you've made yourself too available, too predictable, too dependent on his presence for your happiness. Stoicism reminds us that we must focus on what we can control, our own actions, choices, and priorities. You can't control how much time he gives you, but you can control how much of your time you give away. By reclaiming your time and investing it in yourself, you create an aura of independence and self-worth that is irresistible. Imagine if, instead of waiting for his texts, you spent your time working on your dreams, hobbies, or fitness goals. What if, instead of obsessing over his plans, you made plans of your own, plans that excite and fulfill you? This shift isn't about playing hard to get. It's about rediscovering your value and showing him, and yourself, that your life doesn't stop and start based on his presence. Here's a truth that might sting. Men respect women who respect their own time. If you're always available, always waiting, always willing to drop everything for him, you're sending the message that your time isn't valuable. But when you prioritize yourself, you change the dynamic. Suddenly, he sees you as someone worth pursuing, someone with a life that's exciting and full. So how do you take back your time? Start small. Dedicate specific hours to activities that bring you joy, whether it's reading, learning something new, or spending time with friends. Set boundaries around your availability. Don't always be the first to respond or rearrange your schedule to fit his. Practice detachment. Remind yourself that your happiness doesn't depend on how much time he spends with you. It depends on how much time you invest in yourself. Reclaiming your time isn't just about gaining his respect, it's about gaining your own. When you stop making him the center of your universe, you start shining as the center of your own. This shift not only transforms the way he sees you, but it also transforms the way you see yourself. Ask yourself, if you weren't spending so much time focused on him, what could you achieve? What passions could you reignite? What dreams could you chase? The possibilities are endless when you make yourself the priority. Let this be the moment you take back control. Not because you want to punish him or play games, but because you deserve to live a life that's full, vibrant, and unapologetically yours. 4. Don't cut off your friends or family to please him. Think about the people who have been with you through thick and thin, the ones who know your quirks, your dreams, and your fears. These are your friends and family, the roots that anchor you in times of uncertainty. Now ask yourself, have you ever started to drift away from them, piece by piece, in the name of love? It's easy to fall into this trap, especially when the relationship feels new and all-consuming. You find yourself prioritizing him over everything else, maybe because you think it will make the connection stronger. But here's the truth. Isolating yourself from your support system doesn't strengthen your relationship, it weakens you. When you start cutting off the branches of your support tree, you're left standing alone, with no one to turn to when the storms come. And let's be honest, storms will come. No relationship is perfect, and when challenges arise, who will be there to ground you if you've severed ties with the people who care about you most? Dark Stoic Psychology reminds us to build resilience by maintaining balance in all areas of life. Relationships, while beautiful, cannot be the sole source of your identity or strength. Your friends and family provide perspective, love, and grounding, things that no romantic partner can replace. Here's another truth. A healthy partner will never ask you to give up your connections. If he encourages you to distance yourself from your loved ones, it's not a sign of devotion, it's a red flag. Real love doesn't isolate, it integrates. A man who truly values you will also value the relationships that shape you. Think back to a time when your friends or family offered you advice, a shoulder to lean on, or a laugh that made your worries melt away. These moments are priceless. Yet, when you place all your attention on him, you risk losing these irreplaceable bonds. Over time, this can lead to regret, not just for the relationships you've lost, but for the version of yourself that existed before the isolation began. So how do you strike the balance? It starts with a simple yet profound shift. Prioritize your support system as much as your relationship. Stay connected. Make time for your friends and family regularly, even if it's just a quick call or a coffee date. Set boundaries. If you notice him pulling you away from your loved ones, have a candid conversation about how important those relationships are to you. Ask for support. Let your friends and family know that their presence in your life matters. Relationships are a two-way street, and nurturing them strengthens your foundation. Remember, your friends and family are not just background characters in your story. They're the ones who have cheered you on when no one else was watching, the ones who will stand by you long after the romance has faded. Their love is unconditional in a way that no romantic connection can replicate. By keeping your support system strong, you not only preserve the relationships that matter most, but also show him that you are a woman who values balance and loyalty. This isn't just about protecting yourself, it's about showing him that your life is full, vibrant, and interconnected. Ask yourself, who are the people who've always been there for you? When was the last time you reached out to them, spent time with them, or expressed your gratitude? If the answer doesn't sit well with you, now is the perfect time to change it. The beauty of life lies in its connections, and the strongest women are those who cherish all the threads in their web, not just one. By holding on to the relationships that ground you, you become unshakable, and that's a power no one can take away. 5. Stop spending all your time on them. Let me paint a picture for you. It's Friday night. Your friends have invited you out. There's a new hobby you've been wanting to try. Or maybe you've been meaning to catch up on that book you've been dying to finish. But instead of doing any of these things, you sit by your phone waiting for him to call, waiting to see if he'll make time for you, waiting to know if you're part of his plans. Sound familiar? Here's the harsh truth. The more you pour all your time and energy into one person, the more you lose sight of your own life. It's like tending to someone else's garden while letting your own wither. You think that by being constantly available, constantly there for him, you're proving your worth. But in reality, you're teaching him, and yourself, that your time is not valuable. Let's break this down. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Every moment you spend obsessively waiting for his attention or rearranging your schedule to fit into his life is a moment you could have spent building your own dreams, pursuing your own passions, and creating a life that excites you. So why give that power away so easily? Dark Stoic Psychology offers a critical insight here. Control lies in how you choose to invest your energy. If you give all of your time to someone else, you lose control over your own narrative. But when you reclaim your time, you regain the ability to steer your life in the direction you want. Think about it. When you're always available, always willing to drop everything for him, what message does that send? It tells him that you're willing to sacrifice your life for his convenience. And trust me, this doesn't inspire respect or admiration. Instead, it fosters complacency. Why should he value your time when you don't seem to? Now imagine this. Instead of waiting for his call, you're out living your best life. You're exploring new interests, excelling in your career, spending time with friends who uplift you. When he reaches out, he finds a woman who is vibrant, fulfilled, and completely in charge of her own destiny. That's the kind of woman who commands attention, not the one sitting at home, waiting. So, how do you make this shift? It starts with small but intentional changes. Reprioritize your schedule. Block out time for activities that matter to you and stick to it. Limit your availability. Don't always be the first to respond or immediately rearrange your plans for him. Let him see that your life is full and meaningful without him. Rediscover your passions, whether it's picking up an old hobby or diving into something new. Find what lights you up and make it a priority. Here's the thing. When you focus on building your own life, you don't just benefit yourself, you inspire him to see you in a new light. A woman who values her time and lives fully is magnetic. She doesn't chase, she attracts. She doesn't beg, she commands respect. Now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've been putting off because you've been too focused on someone else? Is it a dream, a goal, or maybe just a little time for yourself? Leave a comment below and share your story. I'd love to know how you're planning to reclaim your time and take back your power. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button to let me know. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights like this. Remember, your time is precious, and it's yours to spend, not his to take. Thank you for being here, and here's to building the life you truly deserve. 6. Guard your past and secrets. There's something sacred about your past, the moments that shaped you, the battles you fought, the triumphs you claimed, and yes, even the scars you carry. These experiences are yours alone, a private journey that holds the essence of who you are. But what happens when you hand over the map to your innermost thoughts and memories too easily? When you reveal every detail of your past, especially the darkest parts, you're not just sharing a story, you're exposing your vulnerabilities. And not everyone deserves access to those corners of your life. It's tempting to lay everything bare in the name of honesty, hoping it will create a deeper connection. But sometimes oversharing can lead to misunderstanding, judgment, or even exploitation. Think of your past as a vault. Inside are the treasures of your growth, the lessons you've learned, and the strength you've built through pain. But not every visitor to your life should be given the key. Sharing your past is a privilege, not a right. The right person will earn it with time, respect, and trust. Stoicism reminds us to maintain control over what we reveal to others. Your past is part of your power. When you share everything without discernment, you risk reopening old wounds and reliving battles you've already won. Worse, the wrong person may use those vulnerabilities against you, turning your history into a weapon. Imagine this scenario. You confide in him about a painful experience from your past, hoping it will bring you closer. But instead of responding with empathy, he minimizes it or uses it as leverage in an argument. Suddenly, something that was once a source of your strength becomes a source of pain. This is why boundaries are essential. Guarding your past doesn't mean being secretive or dishonest, it means being selective. There's a difference between sharing what's necessary and giving someone access to your soul's most tender places. The key is to share in layers, revealing more as trust is built and as you feel secure in the relationship. How do you protect your story while still being authentic? Set boundaries. Be clear about what you're comfortable sharing and don't feel pressured to reveal more than you want to. Share purposefully. When you choose to open up, consider whether it serves to deepen trust or simply feels like a compulsion to explain yourself. Reflect before revealing. Ask yourself, will sharing this strengthen our bond, or am I seeking validation by exposing this part of myself? Your past is a mosaic of strength and survival, not a tool for someone else's curiosity or judgment. By keeping the most private pieces of your story sacred, you preserve your power and maintain control over your narrative. This isn't about deception, it's about protecting the essence of who you are. The beauty of this approach is that it shifts the dynamic in your favor. Instead of over-explaining or overexposing, you create an air of mystery, a sense of depth that invites respect. The right person will understand that trust takes time and will be willing to earn each layer of your story. Remember, your past belongs to you. It's not entertainment, nor is it a bargaining chip in a relationship. It's the foundation of your resilience and wisdom, a testament to how far you've come. And no one, no matter how close, has the right to access it without your permission. By guarding your secrets and sharing thoughtfully, you protect your peace, preserve your dignity, and ensure that your journey remains yours. After all, the strongest relationships are built on mutual respect, not unrestricted access. 7. Don't commit to things you don't want to do. How many times have you said yes to something, not because you wanted to, but because you felt obligated? Perhaps you agreed to plans that made you uncomfortable or went along with an idea that clashed with your values, all in the name of keeping the peace or pleasing him. Let's be honest. Every time you do this, you're chipping away at your authenticity, one small piece at a time. Saying yes to things you don't want to do is like wearing a mask that doesn't fit. It may hide your discomfort temporarily, but over time it suffocates you. You become someone else, not the vibrant, authentic version of you, but a shadow molded to fit his expectations. And here's the worst part. The more you compromise, the more you lose respect for yourself, and the more he takes it for granted. Why do we do this? Fear is often at the root, fear of rejection, fear of conflict, or fear of being seen as difficult. But here's the truth. A healthy relationship is not built on fear or forced compromise. It thrives on mutual respect, understanding, and the freedom to say no without guilt. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us a crucial lesson here. Your values, preferences, and boundaries are not negotiable. When you betray your desires to make someone else happy, you're not being kind, you're being unkind to yourself. And no one, not even the man you love, has the right to demand that of you. Think about the last time you said yes to something you didn't want to do. Maybe it was a favor you resented, an event you dreaded, or a decision that went against your instincts. How did it make you feel? Drained? Trapped? Invisible? Now imagine how liberating it would feel to confidently say, "No, that doesn't work for me," and to stand by that decision without guilt or apology. Saying no isn't about being selfish, it's about being true to yourself. It's about recognizing that your life is your own, and you don't owe anyone blind compliance. A man who values you will respect your boundaries and appreciate your honesty. And if he doesn't, well, that says more about him than it does about you. Here's how to start reclaiming your power. Check in with yourself. Before agreeing to anything, pause and ask, do I really want to do this? Does it align with my values and energy? Practice small no's. Start with low-stakes situations. Politely decline a suggestion you don't like or express your true preference. Communicate clearly. If he's upset by your no, explain that your decision isn't a reflection of your feelings for him, but of your commitment to honoring yourself. When you begin to set these boundaries, you might feel resistance, not just from him but from yourself. You might wrestle with guilt or second-guess your decisions. That's normal. Growth is uncomfortable, but it's also empowering. Each time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to your own well-being, your own happiness, and your own authenticity. And here's the best part. Saying no doesn't push people away, it draws the right people closer. When you are unapologetically yourself, you attract those who align with your values and repel those who don't. A man who truly loves you will admire your strength, not resent it. He will see your no as a sign of confidence, not defiance. Your life is not a stage where you perform for someone else's satisfaction. You are the director, the lead, and the scriptwriter. Every yes and no you utter shapes your story, so let it be one you're proud to tell. So ask yourself, what's one thing you've been doing just to please him that you're ready to let go of? What's one no you need to say to reclaim your peace? Let those questions guide you as you take the next step toward living authentically, unapologetically, and on your own terms. By refusing to commit to things you don't want to do, you not only regain control of your life, but also show him and the world that your time, energy, and happiness are non-negotiable. That's not just attractive, it's transformative. And there you have it, the 7 things you should never beg for when it comes to a man. These aren't just random rules or passing suggestions. They are the foundation of reclaiming your power, protecting your peace, and creating a life where you are in control, not caught in the orbit of someone else's whims. Let's take a moment to reflect. Every boundary we've discussed is about one thing: honoring yourself. When you stop sacrificing your mental health, time, values, and relationships to keep a man happy, you send a powerful message to him, to the world, and most importantly, to yourself. You are not here to play a supporting role in someone else's story. You are the lead in your own life. Now, this isn't always easy. Growth rarely is. But I promise you it's worth it. Every time you choose yourself, every time you set a boundary, and every time you protect your peace, you take one step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. So here's your next step. Commit to this journey. Take a moment to declare it out loud, or even better, write it down. Remind yourself that your happiness, your time, and your energy are yours to cherish and protect. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these boundaries resonated with you the most? Is there one area of your life where you're ready to take back your power? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story and cheer you on. If this message has inspired you, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next steps in this journey of empowerment and growth. Together, we're building a community of strong, confident women who know their worth and refuse to settle for anything less. Thank you for being here. Thank you for investing in yourself. Remember, you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness on your terms. Now go out there and live your truth. The best is yet to come.